Tax reform still being discussed, actually on the front burner for the House, despite lawmakers being on recess. Adam Shapiro is standing by with House Ways and Means Committee Chairman Kevin Brady at the Reagan Ranch Center, where they're about to kick off a big event today. Over to you, Adam.
And Maria, it's a big event because this is essentially the hard sell for tax reform nationwide. And it was President Reagan in 1986 where this was so key, because it was on this day 31 years ago when the Conference Committee, Senate and House, delivered the bill that would eventually become tax reform. And the president said back then, any system that penalizes success and accomplishment is wrong. Any system that discourages work, discourages productivity, discourages economic progress is wrong. And we're back there, aren't we? Because you even said to me, Chairman, conservatives, Republicans have to deliver, and we're in a quagmire. What happened 31 years? How did we get back here?
Yeah, the reason we're here on a historical occasion on a historic day, because this is where it started, where the House and Senate came together to deliver that pro-growth tax reform. But the point I'm going to make today is, look, President Reagan wouldn't even recognize this tax code or any of the principles in it, because since then, you know, our rates continue to be high. Our competitors have gone far past us around the world. It's filled with lobbyist loopholes. It's just a mess. And so the only way President Reagan was able to deliver on that game-changing tax reform is to speak directly to the American people. And so we're going to make the case today, speaking directly to the American people. It's critical that you engage.
Okay, that speech that you're going to deliver, 2:30 Pacific, 5:30 East Coast time. But the keys to the current effort, the administration and the Republicans on the Hill, is simplicity for the tax code and fairness. I need to ask you, given the headlines today nationwide, with what's coming as well, the debt ceiling fight, the tax reform, health care may come back. How does President Trump lead, given all these other issues, and how does he work with Republicans on the Hill to deliver this tax reform?
So where I know him best is on tax reform, and I'm confident he will lead on this issue. This is a signature issue, not just for him, but for the country as well, because we continue to fall behind all of our competitors, and you can't go online once a week without seeing another company moving their jobs or the research or manufacturing overseas. And so I think I'm convinced he's fully committed to this. He is going to lead on tax reform, and our job is to work with him in the Senate and the American public to get this done this year.
I want to get to the core of this, which is the middle class, and I know that's key for you. One issue that might be a benefit to the middle class would be an issue we've talked about, universal charitable deductions. Let's move all charitable giving above the line. Everyone gets to claim that deduction as well as the standard deduction. Where are you on that? Because you were looking at it seriously.
Yeah, we are looking at it seriously because we want to unlock more charitable giving. America's an amazingly generous country. We want to do more of it, whether it's giving to the church or to your cause you believe in or the Scouts or something. And so we are exploring new, fresh ideas and how we can encourage more of that, not just for the few who itemize, but for every American. We've got some great ideas from the nonprofit groups we're working with.
And my last question before I bring in Maria. The administration wants a 15% corporate tax rate. They originally said that that was a negotiating beginning point. Now they're insistent on that. You've said about 20%. Chairman Hatch on the Senate side has said 25%. Where is that tax rate going to be?
So the clear answer, as low as we can go. And not just for corporations, for every business of every size in America. We're working to drive it as low as we can and to also unlock that business investment that drives so much Main Street job growth as well. So it's not an easy task. We've got a lot of work to do. But again, you know, the White House with Secretary Mnuchin, Director Cohn, Senate tax writers and ourselves, we're making progress every day toward that goal.
Maria Bartiromo, no stranger to you, wants to get a question in. Maria?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, I guess my question is about working with Democrats or not. And the reason it's important is because we want to know if the tax reform package needs to be revenue neutral. So you did away with the border adjustment tax. That was going to raise $1 trillion. If it has to be revenue neutral, does that mean you've got to come up with revenue or another tax somewhere? But if it doesn't have to be revenue neutral, then that means you'll probably work with Democrats. So are you expecting the Democrats to participate in governing when it comes to taxes?
Well, the answer is I sure hope so, and we're going to make that invitation today at the Reagan Ranch. The truth is they bring good ideas to the table. You know, I'd love to make this bipartisan because they're seeing the same community struggles we do. At the end of the day, we want this tax reform, like President Reagan's reform, to be permanent. We want families to count on it, and businesses, especially those, we want to help bring back those jobs and supply chains from overseas. So we want to design this to balance within the budget, So it is permanent, and we can count on the growth for the greatest number of years.
Do you think your colleagues recognize that if we don't see real legislation this year, whether it's tax or health care, there's a real chance that you lose the majority in the House in the 2018 elections? I mean, is that on the table, that Nancy Pelosi may very well get that job next year if, in fact, voters are upset that we didn't see tax reform?
The answer is yes. Not only do my colleagues know this, my constituents know this. So I've had, I guess, 16 town hall meetings or something to that effect since we got back to Texas. And look, they're upset about what's going on in Washington, frustrated with the health care issue, and they know, look, they're starved and hungry for tax reform. They know we're leading on this, and so we've got to deliver in a big, bold way.
Yeah, Chairman, I'm a believer. I know you're going to get this done. Thanks very much for joining us this afternoon.
Yes, ma'am.
Chairman Kevin Brady, along with Adam Shapiro. Nice job there.